Welcome to Katawa Shoujo, Lynx here. Let's see what the next day brings, right? We're in school. The students are all into the class for the Saturday morning session, because apparently that's a thing. Each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night, with only a day left to prepare. I suppose it's not surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Muto lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. You mean not every night is late night? Without saying a word, he scrolls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partly be attributed to the two empty seats behind me. Yes! Sorry. For some reason, Misha and Susan aren't present. Yes! Probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she's making up for Shizune's lack of voice.
Nakai, can I speak you for a moment?
I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Muto approaching my desk. Sure. What's this about?
It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom.
Something about this doesn't sound too good. But I stand up and follow him out in the hallway. Muto stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I was silent. I wait silently.
I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day.
So it's about that. Well, it's kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about.
Yes, it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this.
Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. Muto closes his eyes in frustration and realizes that this probably wasn't the best thing to say.
Something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put in a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you and every other student here,
I'm making a different voice for him, by the way, for some reason,
can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish.
I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels, or if it's some act that he's practiced many times to guilt trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. Yeah, I understand. This is all new to me and I apologize. I know my limits now and I'll be sticking to them. Sorry, yeah. Anyway, Muto appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received.
So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we?
I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Muto taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information.
Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning.
I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah. I mean, you've got to keep up with these things, right?
That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right?
Yeah. Right. Wouldn't want that to happen.
No, not though you wouldn't. Every week there is a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing.
I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability.
Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we?
My relief at that suggestion is unsurmountable. Sure, you were the boss, right? Would you pause it for a moment?
I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before.
For an instant, I considered replying to this, but something deep within me said me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they are working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slammed on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto does not even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near silence that Muto and I left in it before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness, anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or take a chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. And the clock on the wall slowly ticks, very remaining class time away, until finally the bells you are hearing cry out, ending the torment.
Before you all leave, I expect the answer for those problems by Monday.
The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival and all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving route is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako, but it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that, or anything else either, so an oppressive silence falls from up on the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil is splintering its paper just when I'm about to finish a paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako. Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. Did you notice that? Like, you know, she's smiling and then... They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back to the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out of the corner. Ah, that's why, okay. Out of the corner of my eye, out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit, with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her her slender frame reaching to her back and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly sloughing in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished and there is nothing else to do in the classroom. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else either. I was worried you know who would appear. The school is beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. I saw saunter past classrooms filled with students frantically doing this and that, buzzing around this like little worker bees. You wouldn't guess the school day's over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by, left, right, hurrying as quick as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air flows inside my heart, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I'd do. I'll drop off my books at the dorms first, and then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji is in his room. What? You think? What? Hisao is thinking, yeah, I want to spend time with Kenji? Finally! On the way to dorms, I spot Emmy coming my way, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. What? Wait, what? Then how? What? I wave at her and she skids to a stop. Then, wait, what? But how? But, hey, how does she walk then? What? Does she have like a different type then for running and for what? Mind blown right now. I mean, I don't know about this stuff, okay? So I'm curious. Yo, Hisao! Sputters white and green painted on her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is white and it seems it always is. I guess she's helping Green with the painting of the wall. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she's examining me. What you doing? Nothing really. I don't have anything to do for the festival and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect! Then you can help me, Adrian! With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be much of help. That's fine. I'm not much help either. Let me grasp my wrist and start dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. The stairs slow Emmy down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. Sorry. We got all the way back to the third floor and to the seniors hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed here waiting for Emmy had I known. So is Rin working on the mural still? That's right. She needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so I went to get them from their classroom. And you need me to help with that? Well, Rin told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. So thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves and the lonely speck of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. As she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a close look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in a most unorganized fashion. Some look like they've been left there for several decades, relics of the previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different size brushes and unsorted crayons. The smells of paint, turpentine and fresh paper, that's a nice smell by the way, float in the stale air, mixing in my nostrils to form an unmistakable scent of art. Amy studies her notes, comparing them to markings on the various paint cans, and passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Amy gives up and just looks up to the shelf longingly, like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second she can see them, and catch what she can. It's no surprise that she fails miserably, and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now you see why me lending a hand here would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. You are not? She turns around, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares me one more time, but can't come up with a retort. With a grudging turns her back to me. Sabine scrounging around the top shelf for paint while below Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little after double checking to ensure she can't see me do so. And me having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. Yeah, we do. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on the desk like a treasure hunter spoils do I realize that it wasn't necessarily the have job that got her riled up. She might not like to be told that she can do something, like jump. But Emi herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything too hard, as she chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items and then make our way back to Rin. I chivalrously carry the bulk of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories.
Rin is really stressed out about getting her painting done. It's her own fault for. She should have started earlier.
Is she going to make it?
No idea. It looks good to me, but with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the room in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurses hadn't found her. And now she's painting again, like crazy.
Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kind unhinged, so to speak. Emilio said that, as well as at my likely too obvious awkwardness.
I don't mind it, she's just a little weird sometimes.
On that I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with friends. Whatever it is that feels so off about her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and Shizune do. Maybe it's a good thing. With them working as a single entity sometimes, it's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Exactly. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rin are. And Rin is the most different of them all. Different from anyone else I've met. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. Artist. I return to the word again as if it encompasses Rin's personality by itself, but really it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Emmy giggles as I grabs about for properly descriptive word.
She's just weird. You know, earlier she just spent half an hour sitting on that box and stared at her tooth.
She giggles again in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is.
All the time.
The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink and orange. Weird, imaginary things populating the spaces between. It looks nice. I can't think of any word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively, so I settled myself on a non-descriptive nice. But honestly, it seems that the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Rin herself is in the center of this chaos, standing there looking very cozy as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her palm legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs which sport a drying spectrum of war painting similar to those on Emmy's face. Yeah. Emmy sprints to Rin ahead of me and gleefully jumps in front of her.
I'm back!
That was fast. Did you run the corridors again?
Hisao help me!
Emmy points victoriously at me. Rin turns around following Emmy's finger with her eyes, looking in my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. A vacant glazed stare that's focused slightly off me, and movements like in a slow-motion movie.
Hello, Hisao. Thank you for the help.
Don't mention it.
I just did.
Never mind. Looks like you've made progress. Looking good, as far as I can tell.
But now you get more bad luck.
I know, but I'm willing to take the risk.
That's a very nice thing to say. For me, of course, not for you. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So artists can't find romance, their favorite TV shows are cancelled, or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe.
Interesting. Am I an artist then? How?
Unless they are blind.
She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep.
There is a boy. At the art club, you see, blind boy. So he doesn't see.
You told me about this already. You already told me. I glance sideways at Emmy, and she glances back in a way that tells she has already heard this one before too. Neither of us says anything to reinforce, so she continues her monotone soliloquy like an unfunny stand-up comedian.
He should become an artist. No bad luck guaranteed. Don't you think that would be a good idea?
That only blind people should become artists?
No, not as such. You might have a point.
Abandoning this train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and starts humming a tune that I think I recognize but can't remember the name of. Emmy arranges the supplies we brought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene.
Emmy, I need the Prussian blue paint.
What? What kind of color is that? Prussian blue. The fact that this actually a color is crazy. Oh, why is the color? Oh, I mean it's quite nice. I like it.
Which one's Prussian blue?
She's staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans, each with a different tone of blue.
It's the one with Prussian blue paint in it. Jirin, you are not helping at all.
I look around as well, even though I don't know what Prussian blue looks like either. I wonder what blue has to do with Prussia. Or what Prussia even is. How do you... Okay, you might not know. I mean, I live where I live, so I know. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. While none of the blues looks more Prussian than the others, the small print on the label is legible enough to determine that none say anything about the contents being Prussian. There is no Prussian blue here.
We need to go and get more then.
I opened my mouth to say that actually we're not both needed for such a simple task like finding another pot of Prussian blue, but Emmy's already grabbed my arm and started dragging me off. I waved to Rin, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the two of us are even leaving. Well, she'll notice when she goes for her Prussian blue and finds out it's still not there. Maybe. Probably not, actually. While I'm busy thinking of how weird Rin is, Emmy's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I feel myself start to run out of breath. Or should I say breath, as usual. What's the rush?
Huh?
Emmy's giving me an appraising look, as if she's trying to figure out something. It's just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I can keep up. Comprehension dawns on her face.
You're not out of breath, are you?
There is almost an accusing playfulness to her tone. I'm tempted to deny it, but then I realize that I've been breathing heavy since we stopped. I guess it's kind of obvious.
A little. Not everybody can be in shape, you know.
Takes all kinds, right? Emmy frowns. It's not a particularly good frown. That is, I should get in shape. Not that I hadn't already decided to try for that. After that flutter on the track, I figured there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. I was, after all, feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually I wasn't, but it was fun? Meanwhile, my comment seems to have helped Emmy come to some sort of a decision.
Well, that's it then.
She gives me a serious look.
You're rejoining me.
Huh? I beg your pardon?
In the mornings. You and I are now running partners. I've got the routine planned out. In fact,
she produces a crumpled sheet of paper.
I've got it right here with me.
Huh? I take the sheet of paper and give it a once over. times, dates, laps, all laid out. Slow increase from just a few laps a day to... My god, does she expect to have me running marathons? And where did... How many... Wait, 400 meters... 4 kilometers would be 10 laps. Do you have to run 100 laps at some point? And where did she find the time to get this all together? And how long has she been planning this anyway? You've been planning this?
A little. But it's really the nurse's idea. He told me to keep an eye on you to make sure you exercise like he told you to.
A vast conspiracy. Maybe Kenji is onto something here.
He might be. This seems a bit much for just keeping an eye on me.
Well, to be honest, I've been trying to find a running partner in the mornings for a while now.
Anyone else not running with anyone?
I'm a lonely wolf when it comes to my runs. And when I spot a prey running in front, I just overtake and leave them in the dust.
Something like this. I mean, it's kind of truthful. Go.
My god, Kenji, if you could only see the scheme unfolding.
What do you need a partner for anyway?
It's easier to keep up workout if you're not the only one doing it.
Is it for? Yeah? Is it? I wouldn't know. I mean, I manage by my own.
Isn't that obvious? You're less likely to quit if someone else is counting on you to be there, right?
Is that true? I see. And this won't only keep you running, but it will make sure that I keep running as well. Meaning that I'll be obeying the nurse.
And I'll be keeping an eye on you just like he asked. Wink, wink. You cut on quick, Hisao.
And if I refuse? I have no intention of refusing, of course. But I've got at least to put up token resistance to such a masterfully executed plan.
Well, if you refused, I'd have to pout. And you have to live with being the guy who made Emi Ibarasaki pout. You don't have... you don't want that on your conscience, do you?
As if to demonstrate Emi means pouting. It is the most adorable, heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen. Okay, I'll do it. Just don't do that. I feel like I just hit a puppy. I have no idea how that feels.
So, it's settled, right? You're going to be my running partner. Follow the workout and the dietary plan.
There is also a dietary plan?
Yeah, the dietary plan. You've got to eat healthy if you're going to get in shape, you know.
I examine the workout routine closely. I don't see that dietary plan on here.
Alright, I forgot to give that to you.
Another crumpled sheet of paper is produced and handed over. It's somewhat less detailed.
I had the nurse help me come up with it.
The amount of dedication that the nurse has to keeping me in good health is pretty overwhelming. I don't know many school nurses who would get one of their students to spy on me, much less help come up with a dietary plan. Dude, you say that? I don't know any school that would pay any attention to that at all. In fact, our schools in Poland don't give a damn about that. Again, why do we not have the cooking classes? Dude, just get rid of their religion. No one needs those classes. If someone believes, they can go to church and learn there, okay? Bring something useful. Now, I'm not going to go on the tangent, we've been through this freaking topic already, of how ridiculous in Poland the amount of religion classes is, okay? I don't remember which episode it was, we've been through this, so I'm not going to it. But why do we I wanted so much to have cooking classes and such. Then again, I guess I'm not in a normal school. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. Then again, the dietary plan seems to cut out just about everything that will be offered at the festival. Tomorrow! So, when does our running start?
After the festival.
Right after. What if I've had something to eat there? I could get a stomachache, you know?
I meant the day after the festival.
I knew that. Wasn't there something we're supposed to be doing? Oh, I guess we should get that paint for Rin, huh?
Oh no, it slipped my mind.
By the time we get the paint and get back to the mural, Rin's already wandered off. Ah well. I mean, I both decided to part ways there, leaving the paint on the ground. Rin will find it whenever she comes back anyway. Festival is tomorrow, in tomorrow's episode, and I'm actually a little excited for it. At the same time, the weeks left me feeling pretty tired, so I read a little and then go to bed. Yo, that's my routine as well. I read the VN and I'm gonna head to bed. Yeah, I mean, it's after 3 AM already, by the way, so I will not be preparing the next episode. But, hope you enjoyed this one. Hope to see you tomorrow, of course. And have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.